one of the reasons why some believe, many are saying that the Chiefs are winning these games because the league wants them to, and so the officials are rigging it in their favor. And I'm just setting the table. Yeah. I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah.
But Patrick Mahomes was asked about it yesterday on whether he thinks that the officials have a Kansas City bias. Here he is.
The referees are doing their best to call the game as fair and as proper as they possibly can, and all you can do is go out there and play the game that you love as hard as you can and live with the results. And so for me, it's to go out there, play hard, try to do whatever I can to win the football game, and then live with the results based off my effort and the way that we played the game. And so I think that's what we preach here in Kansas City.
I've been asked about this dynamic pretty much every radio spot podcast I've done this week. We haven't talked about it directly in this show. It came up on Monday, and you jumped all over me, and I didn't get a chance to articulate things the way I'd like to, so I'm going to do it right now. I do not believe games are scripted. I do not believe games are rigged. I do not believe the NFL is sufficiently competent to pull it off. That's why I believe it,
right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, too many people would know. Somebody would say something to somebody. You can't keep that a secret.
Can't get a holding penalty correct in the NFL. But yeah, we think they have the biggest fix in history on. Yeah.
You'd have to be killing people to keep this quiet.
Right.
And that's not happening. But I do believe that they've blurred the line between football business and football integrity. And the one moment I point to was when Troy Vincent, the executive VP of football operations, went on ESPN during the nothing the passer controversy midway through the 2022 season, and he said, basically, look, we have the most popular product on TV. You look at the top 100 shows watched, NFL games almost take up every spot. And one of the reasons that is because of our quarterbacks. So we have to keep our quarterbacks healthy. That's why we do this. Now, when you blur that line, what you do is you send a message, and we know how obsessed they are with audience. What's the trend? Are the millions going up? Are the millions going down? What's happening? Because it's all tied to money, and everybody knows about it who works for the league, including the officials. And this is where the bias creeps in, Chris. It's subconscious. You know it's good for the business for the Chiefs to win. You know it's good for the business to protect the star quarterbacks. You put it all together with the Chiefs, and that may be the thing that fires the synapse between pulling the flag and not pulling the flag. And nobody's doing it deliberately, but when you're in that environment where you hear it enough, you just act accordingly. It's when in Rome. That's what I think trickles into the game. And now I wonder if there's going to be an overcorrection because there's been so much talk about it. Does the subconscious bias go the other way, where the official's like, oh, man, they're giving us a lot of shit for these Chiefs games. I'm not going to throw the flag this time. It all happens in a split second. It's an incredible exercise in psychology. But I think that's how we got here. And now the challenge is figuring out where it goes from here.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, I hear what you're saying, right? I don't really buy any of it. First off, I mean, ratings are down, all right? So there's I don't know, is it good for business? I don't know.
Well,
all right.
Well,
we'll see.
Better keep the Chiefs around. Better have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I thought they built the league to have parity and they'd want to see other teams there. That's what they're all about. So that's where that's where I want to fight against just the narrative. I'm not saying you. I know. I understand. I'm just fighting against the narrative in general. But two, like, all right, this is a story.
You can't dispute the fact that subconscious motivations and biases will influence behavior when the decisions are made in a split second.
Sure, I can understand that. Does Tom Brady or Mahomes or Michael Jordan get a call maybe that somebody doesn't sometimes? Yeah, they do. They probably earned it, though, over greatness and whatever else. Okay, but at the same time, too, this is a tale as old as time. It's the team that wins doesn't go back and look and go, let me see the penalties they committed and that he didn't call. It's always the losers that do that. So, of course, that's accentuated. The team that wins doesn't go, let me go back and cause a controversy and tell everybody why we won or we should have won by more. Look at all the penalties on this side of the ball. There was plenty of penalties by the Texans in the football game. Okay,
I know.
No, I know.
But
No.
one becomes a narrative and one doesn't.
I know, but
one
so
a
this is
narrative
always.
that's
I mean, we saw
existed.
Tom Brady get hit in the shoulder like this in an AFC Championship game on a 3rd and 10 where it was an incompletion and they got a first down. So the quarterback overprotection stuff has been going on. And here's the other thing that I just don't like about this one, for instance, is that we show that play again. We're now going, the people hate the Chiefs so much that we're going to the 6th play of the game and going, that's where the game was won. This is the 6th play of the game for the Chiefs offense. That's where the game was won right there. Oh yeah, okay, the game was run right there against the clutchest fourth quarter team we've ever seen in the history of football. But that was it. That was the moment.
Listen,
I
don't understand. I don't even understand why there's any complaint about this. It's a helmet-to-helmet hit from the perspective of the referee.
Okay, right, exactly. The next one happened with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Again, after the Texans have done dumb shit throughout the whole day, right? But we're going to put it on that. So, I agree with what you're saying in the psychology. I'm not fighting that. I'm just fighting the crazy fan base right now that is just off kilter, and just deal with it. It's like the same thing I would say with like the Patriots. It's not lucky when it starts to happen for 20 years straight. At some point,
football.
There's some things that are coached into this football team that are different from other teams, and that's where I don't like it. The Chiefs are awesome, and they win situations. And this play right here, yeah, I hate this. I hate this. I hate any of these calls. I grew up watching my dad get his ass kicked by Reggie White. I played in an era like this. But at the same time, like you said, Troy Vincent, they're going to protect their national artifacts a little bit. They don't want these situations right here and guys taking cheap shots. And those are two guys that went in with the crown of their helmet and launched at his head. Period. So I'm not, after what we've seen this year with
and they hit each other.
And no, they hit each other. And that's why they got penalty because they heard that sound and they thought it hit Mahomes' head, and it didn't. But I don't like it either, but those were extremely consistent with what we saw all year. In fact, I saw way worse calls than that during the year. So that's where, and then of course where they happen in the game, that's where I get the team that we saw just comes back from 10 points in every Super Bowl with 5 minutes left. Oh yeah, the 5th play of the game, that's what really determined it. Okay, get out of here with that crap. That's what I don't want to hear from the fan base.
Well, the NFL definitely has rabbit ears about it because they fined Joe Mixon yesterday $25,000 for something he didn't even say. It was TJ Houshmandzadeh, former Bengals receiver, who said on Twitter that basically the refs are trash and bias and why even play the games if they're going to do this. That was attributed by the league from an SI article, which properly attributed the comment to TJ Houshmandzadeh. The league misread it as Mixon fined him $25,000, and then when we pointed it out, the league just reissued the paperwork as if the other one didn't happen. Copy-paste, no snarky comment, the right quote from Mixon, which really wasn't nearly as critical of the officials as the one that they used. But that just shows you, and I figure Will Anderson's getting a fine letter this week because he was far more direct than Joe Mixon was after the game. And the whole gist of it, and even D'Amico Ryans walked up to the edge of the water and said, we know what
I didn't like it.
The deal is when we come here to Kansas City. We know it's not just us against the Chiefs.
Yeah, not a good look.
And
not a good look
that's
by them
a perception.
At all. Right.
That's a perception.
Yeah.
And whether it's a reality, and here's the question, will there be a correction? And is there a Chiefs fatigue that might contribute to the correction? Chris Russo, our good buddy Mad Dog, he was going off about it this week, how he's sick of the Chiefs. I think people are starting to get sick of the Chiefs. I think they've had enough.
That's great.
We've seen it with other great teams in the past.
Yeah, that's right.
You've had enough.
Right.
Give somebody else a turn.
Right.
Hey, Jimmy, give somebody else a turn.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting there. The numbers bear it out because you look at 8.5% drop for the divisional round. And, the Chiefs-Bills game last year did over $50 million. You move the Chiefs to the Saturday window, and it just goes up a little bit of a tick over Texans-Ravens. This time it's Texans-Chiefs, and it goes up just a little bit. And then Ravens-Bills in the spot the Chiefs were in last year, big decline. Yeah. I'm going to be very interested to see what the numbers are for the AFC Championship. If they don't hit 60, I really do believe there's an inference to be drawn that people have just – not me. We love greatness.
I love greatness.
We love witnessing history.
Yeah.
But the average person, I think, has gotten to the point where they possibly have had enough of the Chiefs. They've had enough of Mahomes. The flop the other night And Mahomes admitted he probably shouldn't have done it. That pissed a lot of people off. I've never seen this before. The emails I've been getting complaining about the Chiefs and saying they've had enough of Mahomes, I never thought we would see that happen. We're not there, but some fans are loudly getting there.
Yeah, it's it does happen like we've talked about. We saw it with the Patriots. We saw it with Tom Brady. The whole nation was rooting for the Green Bay Packers when Tom Brady went to the Tampa Bay and played in the NFC Championship game because of Brady fatigue. That's what happened. It happened when I was growing up with Michael Jordan. I mean, I can remember so many friends or whatever. Oh, he gets every call. Oh my gosh, the league's rigged for Michael Jordan. But it's always goes on. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching other teams squirm and having to dethrone them. And I think the Chiefs enjoy this. That's the best part about it. The Chiefs enjoy being the bad guy right now, I think, in a lot of ways. All right, wait, one more thing I wanted to say about the game just a little bit, all right? Because we didn't talk about Bills' offense versus Chiefs' defense.
We're doing the full deep dive in the Picks podcast.
Okay.
We got 52 minutes for both games. Let's do it then.
Okay,
and
fine.
Anybody, if you want to know what Chris was going to say, go watch the Picks podcast that we're going to tape later today. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.